Hey guys, so this week we're going to be taking a look at another awesome travel bag from one of my favorite companies, Timbuk2. The bag we're going to be taking a look at is the Timbuk2 Blitz Pack. And so it looks like Timbuk2 has taken a little bit of an interest in travel bags recently, I guess with so many awesome bags being released by so many different companies. They've come out with a bunch of different travel bags. And these are all different size travel backpacks. This right here is the Blitz Pack, as I had mentioned, and this is kind of the middle-sized bag, so it's not the biggest or the smallest. And that's typically the type of bag that I like to review on this channel. As you've seen in the past, I don't typically go for bags that are too big. And so just from using this bag for a couple of days and filling it up with all the same stuff that I typically do for the travel bags that I review here, I have to say I was really impressed with how much it was able to hold. As you'll see from a lot of the footage in the video, the bag isn't quite that big. I think it's listed for about 26 liters on the websites. However, to me it seems like it could hold at least 30 liters worth of stuff. I was kind of shocked that I was able to fit the same amount of stuff in this bag as I was able to fit in something like the Amazon Travel Basics backpack that I did last week, which was a lot bigger. So really excited to kind of take you through this bag. Really good quality bag, has a lot of really interesting features, and of course it has the Timbuk2 quality name. So really excited to share this bag with you guys. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Timbuk2 Blitz Pack. So as I had mentioned, this is one of 3 travel backpacks that Timbuk2 has released recently. This is the Blitz Pack, which is kind of the middle-sized version of that bag. If you wanted something smaller, they do offer the Timbuk2 Blink Pack, and they do have the Wander bag as well if you want something a little bit bigger. So I'll make sure to link to those in the description below. But as I mentioned, this is the Blitz Backpack, and this is really good size. When I got it, it was a little bit smaller than I was expecting, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're looking for something that can more easily double as a day backpack or something that you won't have any issues with when just using it as a carry-on or even your personal item. This is a really good flexible bag that holds a lot more than its size would indicate. But just starting off with the outside of the bag, it's got kind of this very durable material that you could feel like it's going to be really resistant to the elements. The color that I have here is it's kind of a green-gray type color. The bag comes in a few other colors. Of course, they have black and blue. But I chose to just check out this kind of different color. And it's really nice. I feel like the bag is going to be really durable, which is good because the bag is not cheap. It costs about $140. But it does come with a Timbuk2 lifetime warranty, so that is always a good thing. So just starting off with the pockets on the outside of the bag, it has a few accessory pockets and just little things to help keep you organized, which I absolutely love. So the first one is here on the front. It has kind of this side access pocket, which is it's pretty deep. So it goes from about the midpoint of the bag, 2/3, all the way down to the bottom. So if you have some taller items that you want to stick in there, they'll definitely fit. So I currently just have my 5-port USB power adapter. This is my favorite item for traveling, just to reduce the amount of chargers that I have to carry with me. And that fits really nicely in there. And then as I mentioned, it goes all the way to the bottom, so you can probably fit a few different items in here. The one thing to note about this pocket is if the bag is really full, it can get kind of tight to reach the bottom. And since this pocket is only accessible from this small opening here, it can be a little bit inconvenient to reach all the way down and try to get something when the bag is really full. Even right now, the bag is full and I'm struggling to kind of get to the bottom. So if I had anything really deep down there, it would be a little bit annoying to try to pull up every time. But overall, this is a really nice pocket. It has kind of a weatherproof sealing here. The zipper is covered by this material of the bag, so it does offer a fair amount of protection from the elements. If you just want to have something that's really easy to grab over there, you can probably put your boarding passes or things like that. So just a nice option to have. Then on the top here, it has kind of a fleece lined pocket for any delicate items that you want to include. So right now, at the moment, I just have my GoPro Hero 3 Plus. But this is a great spot to put your cell phone, to put a watch, to put some headphones. The pocket itself is not huge. As you can see, it fits about half of my hand. But that's more than enough space for headphones or a phone or just delicate items that you just want to toss in quickly. As I had mentioned, this is kind of a fleece-lined pocket, so it will prevent scratching from any of the delicate items you want to put in. You could probably put some sunglasses in as well. I really love these pockets in general because this is where I quickly toss all my stuff when I'm getting ready to go through TSA. So really easy to access, really nice fleece lining, and just overall a nice option to have. The zipper for this pocket as well has that water resistant sealing to help keep the elements out, so even if you are putting a delicate electronic in there, you don't really have to worry too much about water getting in unless you get caught in a huge rainstorm or something like that. As I kind of go around the outside of this bag, I really love the quality that I feel of everything that I'm kind of touching. So it has two handlebars here. So one to kind of hang the bag if you want to hang it somewhere. And it also has a nice handlebar on the side here if you want to use the backpack as a suitcase. And these really feel sturdy. They feel almost like kind of a really thick seat belt-like material. So just a lot of nice build quality all around the bag. It comes with the 4 compression straps, which is really nice. You know, I'm a big fan of those for just cinching the bag down if you don't have it that full or if you want to keep your things from shifting. It's also really nice for kind of hanging a jacket or even a tripod or something like that. So just nice to have those compression straps to help with the flexibility of the bag. One thing that I did notice as I was going around the outside of the bag that is a little unfortunate is that there's no water bottle pocket on this backpack. Not a huge deal, especially for a travel bag. I don't think that that's quite as necessary, but it still would be nice to have, you know, bags such as the Air Travel Pack or the Tortuga bags, or even something like Heinz Eagle Travel Backpack. They all have at least a little bit of a water bottle pocket, so it would be nice to include it, but definitely not a deal breaker at all. As for the straps of the backpack, you know, as with most Timbuk2 bags, these are very comfortable. They're pretty padded. They're not quite as padded as Timbuk2's other straps, which is a little disappointing considering this is a travel backpack, which means you'll be carrying probably a little bit more weight than you would with a normal backpack. Another thing that I was a little disappointed with is the back of the bag. So this is pretty padded. It has a little bit of padding, and it's pretty comfortable, but it's not nearly as comfortable as what I've come to expect from Timbuk2's other backpacks. This is pretty thin, and it doesn't offer a lot of breathability, so if you're wearing this for a long day with a lot of weight, you know, your back's probably going to get pretty sweaty. So overall, I think that with this being a travel backpack and also with the quality that I've come to expect from Timbuk2's backpacks, this back panel and the straps were a little bit disappointing compared to other travel backpacks that I've reviewed. Then it's the one area of the bag where I think they really could have improved a little bit, especially for the amount of money that you're paying for the bag. But other than that, the straps have adjustable and removable sternum strap. One thing I don't like about the sternum strap is that it tends to fall way down to the bottom when you're not using them. And so sometimes it can get caught when you're trying to bring it back up. You know, it can just get a little bit annoying every time you put the bag on. It doesn't really have anywhere here to keep the sternum strap in place when you're not wearing the backpack or if you're not using it at that particular time. So haven't really seen this issue with other Timbuk2 bags. They usually have some sort of a, you know, kind of rubber strap or something to keep it in place. But as you see here, if I'm not holding the sternum strap, it'll just fall to the bottom and then it'll be obnoxious to bring it back up. So not a huge deal, but just something to keep in mind. As with most travel backpacks these days, the straps themselves are removable. So if you want to stow them away and just use this as kind of not as a briefcase, if you want to hold it from the side, or if you want to put the straps away to just prevent things from getting tangled up, if you're putting this into an overhead compartment or something, you can remove both of the straps. They have kind of this interesting butterfly clip here that you just kind of push down to release the metal piece, and then you can pull it out. There's a little strap there. And then the straps tuck away you know, into this pocket here in the back. As you can see, it's pretty easy to tuck away. It keeps everything a little bit neater. You know, I've never really removed the straps on the backpacks when I have all these travel backpacks. You know, I buy them to be a backpack, so I don't see too much benefit in being able to do this, but it does seem to be a common feature, so if that's something you're interested in, it's nice that the bag does in fact offer that. So moving on to the laptop and kind of tech organization pocket. The bag does have a laptop compartment here on the back, and it's an okay laptop compartment. It fits, you know, I have a 13-inch Retina MacBook Pro here, the older version, so it's a little thicker, and that fits in there really nicely. I think it can definitely fit up to a 15-inch laptop here. The sleeve itself is not super padded. It's a little bit flimsy, as you can see. It's thick to offer some padding, but it's not the most padded laptop compartment that I've seen. I definitely like the laptop compartment on the Tortuga backpack a lot better. It offers not just padding, but a little bit more of a fleece lining. Not a deal breaker, but it would have been nice to include something just a little bit more padded here, but I guess they're trying to save space and weight, so always a tough trade-off. The laptop compartment itself is elevated off the ground, so if you were to drop your laptop, it will at least keep it protected from drop. If you were to drop your backpack, the laptop will be elevated from the ground and won't be as affected by a drop. It has a sleeve here as well, a divider sleeve that where you could put a tablet or documents or a folder or something like that. I just have my Kindle here. That sleeve itself, it's a little bit hard to see because it's pretty close to the bottom there, and this is a really deep pocket. But it's just pretty much a piece of felt. It's just a simple divider. It doesn't have any padding, so it's not a padded tablet sleeve per se. But it is nice to just offer a little bit of organization, especially when the pocket's so deep, and it'd be probably hard to get to things in different areas with such a little space. But on top of the laptop compartment and the divider sleeve, there's also this additional zipper pocket here, which has some internal organization, which is nice. So first of all, it has a keychain loop here, which is really nice. It's got a bright red strap so that it's really easy to find. Metal clip here, and then on the keychain loop, I just have my Gerber shard attached. You know, it's one of the few tools that I can take through TSA with me, so I like to have that with me. The pocket itself is not super deep. It goes about halfway to a quarter of the way down. And in here, I was able to just fit an external hard drive, and then a mini tripod for my camera. And then on top of that, it has two slip pockets, which are big enough to hold an external battery. So that's what I have here. And they can also hold a mouse, or a charger for your laptop, just a lot of different stuff. They're just two slip pockets, and they have a lot of flexibility here. I just have field notes to just kind of jot down notes. So it's really nice that they kind of have at least some organization, so that if you want to use this as a work bag, not just a travel bag for when you arrive at your destination, you'll be able to keep all your stuff in its own place. So just nice details there, and a really useful pocket overall. So before moving on to the main compartment, one additional pocket that this bag has on the outside, which I thought was really cool, is this pocket on the bottom here. And this actually shares space with the main compartment. So if you fill this pocket up, it will take some space out of the main one. But I really like that this bag offers this, because it kind of works as a nice either pocket to put some shoes, or to put some dirty clothes or wet clothes. So it's just nice to have a little bit of separation. It was one of my favorite things of the air travel pack, is that it has that shoe compartment to help separate some of the dirtier stuff from the main compartment where the rest of your clothes are. So in this compartment here, I've just put in my trusty Toms. Don't go anywhere without them. And those fit nicely there. The pocket itself is not super big, so if you have big shoes, or if you're going to put a bulkier pair of shoes, they might not fit. But you can use this to put underwear. You can put your toiletries, your DOP kit or something. It's also a very quick access pocket, so if you have something that you want to keep accessible during the flight, this is a perfect spot to put maybe a jacket or even electronics. So it's just a really versatile pocket, and I really love that they included this, because if you put your bag in to the overhead compartment, you can still reach this very easily. So just nice to be able to have a little bit of flexibility in how you use kind of that big space in the main compartment. And the best part is that if you don't want to use it and you just want all the space for the main compartment to be for that, you don't have to use it at all, and you can just ignore it. So moving on to the main compartment, as with any good travel backpack, this one opens up like a suitcase. You can lay it completely flat so that it's very easy to pack and see everything that you have. As you can see here, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I have everything that I've used for the previous travel backpack videos that I've done in the past. So just starting off with the flap, this just has a simple zipper pocket here where you can put some socks, or you can put your toiletries in here. I just put my Mocreo selfie stick in there. As I've mentioned in a few videos, this is kind of my favorite selfie stick for traveling now. It's got a really good clamp and the light. And that fits really nicely in there. But as I mentioned, you could put socks or just toiletries or anything like that in here. So it's not too big of a pocket, but it's flexible, and it's nice that it's mesh, so you can actually see what you put there at any time. And then as far as the main compartment, the bag itself has one strap to kind of help compress everything down. If you're trying to pack just a little bit of extra stuff in there, or just to keep everything from shifting, it just has this one strap, which is really useful. I do like when bags have the two straps a little bit more. It's a little bit easier to use, I think, but this still works well for general purpose. And so in this pocket here, I have my DOP kit, and then I have kind of one smaller packing cube with like my shirts and my socks and some underwear and things like that. And then I have my Converse-like pair of shoes, just a flat pair of tennis shoes that I can wear with a lot of different stuff when I get to my destination. And then I have my large packing cube with my pants and my dress shirts and just kind of the larger clothing items. And the cool thing about these packing cubes is that they're actually double-sided, so you can keep your It lets you organize how you pack your stuff a little bit more. So if you want to keep your dirty clothes on one side and your clean clothes on the other side, or if you want to keep pants in one pocket and shirts in another, I've fallen in love with these double-sided packing cubes. They make using packing cubes a lot more easy. And then here, I just kind of have some random socks and underwear floating around that I used to fill up just little holes that I had left when I was done packing. And then, so here's what the main compartment looks like when it's empty. Just kind of a big space where you can organize however you want, which is, I love how much flexibility it offers you and how you pack. As I had mentioned earlier, here is that outer pocket where I was saying that you could put your wet clothes or your shoes or something like that. And as you can see how it pops into the main compartment. So if this pocket is full, it will actually take up space from the main area. So it's just something to keep in mind if you are planning to use this one. But as I mentioned, you can also just not use it and just put it off to the side. And as you can see, it doesn't take up any space. And then you can just choose to ignore it and use the main compartment fully for packing your stuff. So overall, just a really great compartment. Offers a ton of space, and I love how flexible it kind of is because you can just mold all your stuff in there and you can fit a ton. As I mentioned, this is the same stuff I've used in my other videos for bags that were much bigger than this, and I still managed to kind of squeeze it in. So really useful and nice that the bag is not super big. So overall, another awesome bag from Timbuk2. I thought the Timbuk2 Blitz Pack had a lot of really good features. It was a really good quality. I particularly liked the size. I really liked that it wasn't quite that big. I could almost see myself fitting this under an airplane seat, especially if it's not completely full, but it would for sure fit in any overhead carry compartment, and just a really nice kind of mid-sized travel backpack. So I think on their website they mentioned that this is more for like a long weekend type of trip. I believe that with the stuff I have in here, I could definitely travel for at least a week. And if you're a real minimal packer, you can probably get a few weeks out of it. But if not, if you're a heavy packer, this will definitely get you through a long weekend. Plenty of space. I really like how many organizational options it offers, and a really good backpack too if you're traveling for a work trip. Since it has some pockets to keep your tech safer, and you can kind of wear it as a day bag since it's not too big. So just a really great all-around bag. And as I had mentioned earlier, I really love that this is from Timbuk2, so it comes with that lifetime warranty. The bag itself costs about $140 on Amazon. So it's not super expensive and it's not super cheap. It's kind of in the middle, a little bit higher end than the Amazon bag we reviewed last week. But you're really getting a good quality bag, and it's not quite as expensive as some of the other bags that we've reviewed on the channel, such as the Air Travel Pack or the Tortuga Outbreaker, which are a little bit more. But those are also a little bit bigger, so there's some slight differences, and I'll make sure to add links for those reviews as well if you want to kind of compare. But overall, I can definitely recommend this bag. I think it's a great value for the price, and if you're looking for a really good quality kind of mid-sized travel backpack, I definitely recommend taking a look at the Timbuk2 Blitz Backpack. If you guys thought this review was helpful, please go ahead and give us a like below, and if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and thank you guys so much.